Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I love sharing these messages with you all. I get inspired each morning. I wake up, I never know what I'm going to film, and it just pours through my veins when it's time. I get a nudge to get a shower, to get dressed, and it's just like a knowing. It's like, oh, I have to teach this today. So if you are like me and you're wanting to start a channel or you're wanting to spread your light out into the world, allow your soul to move you. Don't put pressure on yourself to know the night before or the weeks before, however long. You don't need to know right now. Allow it to just flow through you. That's being in the flow. That's dancing with the universe. That was probably the greatest lesson I learned, was to get away from the ego, which sounds like judgment, comparison, force, control, all of those thoughts that sound like that, that's ego. And you have to pull away from that, put it up on a shelf, go move your body, go do something, have something that tastes really yummy, and get into a flow state of feeling good. And when you're feeling good, that's when the ideas drop in. That's when the inspiration to make a video comes in. So don't put pressure on yourself, okay? But anyway, in this video, we are going to talk about understanding neutrality, being neutral, not being too high and too low. Because if you are in a very low, depressed state all the time, eventually you're going to kick back into the high. You're going to go from high to low, but how can we balance you out? Because it's just the polarity. When you're in a low state for a long period of time, eventually you're going to kick out and you're going to go to the high state, whether it's for 2 minutes during the day or whether it's for 2 weeks. We all have this capability of being high and low. And people that are very successful with co-creating, and they're really not asking for more in their life, but they just keep getting more, they have the lucky guy or girl syndrome. It's because they've learned the art of coming back to center, coming back to neutral, and observing life from a neutral perspective, which I consider forgiveness and compassion for everything. And then when you're in a high state, you kind of say, okay, I'm going to reach for more because this feels good, but I'm not going to get out of my league. I'm not going to think that, I'm not going to let my ego, take me to a level to put me above other people if I'm having a really high day or I feel good. I'm going to be grounded and I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to be forgiving. I'm not going to be judging other people for not living the life that I'm living. So we have to learn to come back to neutral and work with that polarity. If we see ourselves getting out of alignment and we're falling into a dark space, we're like, okay, I'm going to allow this to be here because this is part of the manifesting journey. This is part of life. We're going to be high and low, but how can I minimize how low I go? And that's what I like to do. I like to observe my feelings. If I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like filming, I don't do it. The old me would say, you have to do it. You have to do it. And then that would send me deeper and deeper into anger and resentment and hating myself for not doing it because I'm telling myself to do it. Whereas I just surrender and say, oh, today's not the day to film. That brings me right back to neutral. Now I'm like, okay, I still feel good. I'm not super high and I'm not super low. I'm just coasting. And that is the key to manifesting, is how can we stay in the neutral position? But when you're feeling high, a lot of people say, well, Michelle, but don't we want to feel high vibe all the time? Don't we want to stay on this end of the scale? And I say, yeah, but if you set yourself up to be high all the time and so excited, you're going to eventually have to come down. It's just the way it works. It's the polarity. There's no day without night. There's no light without dark. It's just the science behind it. So if we can minimize how far we go away from neutral, that will keep us more in alignment, as I like to call it, on the dance floor with the universe. When we're in the middle, we're on the dance floor. We're feeling good. Nothing's really bothering us. We're not going too low. We're not going too high. But if we are feeling good in that moment and it feels juicy and exciting and we're feeling inspired to create something or to call a friend with good news, allow yourself to feel that. But don't dip way down the next day, because what happens is the ego likes to hijack us after a really wonderful day, hour, week, whatever it is. You hear all these stories about people that get married and then the week after they're married, they're really sick. It's self-sabotage because we don't think we're worthy of something so amazing. So we literally are allowing our mind to create a reality that is painful right after a good event. So be very, very mindful. If you have a wonderful day and a manifestation comes in, because it's going to come in because you're watching this channel, like and subscribe for it to come in, because it will. If you're connected to my energy, magic happens here. But when that manifestation comes in on a Tuesday night, you bet your ass on a Wednesday morning, your mind is going to tell you every reason why you don't deserve it. It's going to poke you in your weak spots. I always go like this because I always feel like it knows, my ego knows where Michelle is so sensitive. You know, there's a couple things that I'm not proud of from my past. And anytime I come into a lot of money, I wake up the next day feeling guilty about that event from the past that has nothing to do with that money manifestation. But it's my mind and my wounding telling me that, oh, you know, we can't receive good things. We're not allowed. That's not fair because we should be punished for all the bad that we've done in our lives. And that's false. That is your ego wrecking you. And I'm here to pull you out of that mindset. Your past is over with. It's dead. It's gone. You've taken the good. You're leaving the rest behind. In one reading I did, my guides and angels gave me this analogy of a car. Or no, was it my guides and angels or was it a video I watched? I think it might have been a video I watched, but they guided me to the video. And he was talking about there's a trailer attached to the back of the car. And when you're letting go of your past, you're unhooking that trailer. You're leaving the trailer there and you're driving off, looking in the rearview mirror, and that trailer's staying put and you're moving. We are not taking our past with us into the future, because if we are taking our past into the future, we are creating more of our past. So let me repeat that again. If we are taking our past and we're thinking about the past in the current moment, we are pushing a button saying, hey, universe, we want more of this event in the future. So stop hitting the button on your past. Stop thinking about it. Get yourself into that feeling state. Leave that behind. Leave the trailer behind and know that you're going ahead. And when you get that desire, when it arrives, be mindful the next day, the next few hours, your mind, you're not going to even be aware of it. You will now that I told you this, but it's sneaky. Your ego is so sneaky. It will find the smallest thing. It'll tell you that you're going to get cancer because you find like, you know, something on your body. It'll tell you that your partner's going to leave you. All of a sudden, your mind will physically manifest some kind of argument with your partner after you just had a great success event or thing that happened at work. So that's what usually happens. And if you're really interested in this topic that I'm talking about right now, there's a book called The Big Leap. I think his name was Gay Hendricks is the author. It's so good. He talks about the upper limit problems. Like when you start to reach that upper limit and you're manifesting, you're co-creating, you're being so successful in your life, it's a problem because once you reach that upper limit, then the ego is going to jump in and sabotage you and tell you that you're not worthy and you don't deserve it. And you're unknowingly going to manifest terrible events if you're not aware of this. So that's why I wanted to share this video with y'all, because there's so many things that we're unaware of. We always want to get the manifestation, but what happens when it arrives? Now what? Now what do we do? How do we know that we're worthy of it? How do we work on our vibration before it arrives so that we don't sabotage it when it does arrive and we don't lose it? Okay. So work on this, work on the mind space, try to pay attention to your thoughts throughout the day. When something good happens, try to stay neutral. Be like, all right, this was good, but I'm not going to get too high. I'm going to, you know, keep asking for more of this, but I'm going to stay neutral and I'm not going to get too low. So that was the main point of this video. If you need help, book a one-on-one coaching session with me. Everything's in the description box below. I also do intuitive readings. If you're feeling lost in your life and you're not sure, you have to make big changes, I am your girl. I can help you navigate. All right, I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.